In this video, we are practicing lining up takeaway sums correctly. Takeaway can also be called subtracting or minusing, and we will use all these words to mean takeaway during the video. We are going to use a place value board to help us do these sums. Let's quickly look at the headings on the board. We start with units, which can also be called ones. Moving left from here, each column gets 10 times bigger. So next are tens, then hundreds, thousands, and 10,000s. Moving right from the units, the value of the columns is getting 10 times smaller as we move into decimal values. Firstly tenths, then hundredths. Let's put a takeaway sum into the columns and line it up properly. Remember that when doing subtraction sums, the bigger number must always go above the smaller number. We have the sum 358, takeaway 84. We write the bigger number in first, that is 358. The 3 is 100, 5 is a 10, and 8 is a unit. The other number is 84. This has no hundreds, so there's no number to go in this column. The 8 is a 10, and the 4 is a unit. Now we add a subtraction sign and line under the sum. When taking away, you can use a 100 square or your fingers to help you count back, or any other way that works for you. Let's start in the units column. 8 take away 4 equals 4. In the tens column we have 5 minus 8, but we cannot do this as 5 is smaller than 8, so we need to make the 5 bigger. To do this we go to the next column on the top row. This is the 3 in the hundreds column. We are going to steal 1 from this, making it 2. The 1 we have stolen moves back to the 5, but as it came from the hundreds column, which is 10 times bigger than the tens column, it is now worth 10. This gets added to the 5 and makes it 15. We now have 15 minus 8, which equals 7. In the hundreds column, we now have 2 take away nothing, because there is nothing in the row below. This is the same as saying 2 take away 0, which is simply 2. Our answer is 274. Let's try another sum. We have 8,392, take away 564. We write the bigger number in first. That's 8,392. The 8 is 1,000, 3 is 100, 9 is a 10, and the 2 is a unit. The smaller number goes underneath, 564. The 5 is 100, 6 is a 10, and the 4 is a unit. Place a subtraction sign and line under the sum. We begin taking away in the units column as it is the furthest column on the right. Here we have 2 minus 4, which we cannot do because 2 is smaller than 4. So we need to go to the next column on the top row. This is the 9 in the tens column. We are going to steal 1 from this, making it 8. The 1 we have stolen moves back to the 2, but as it came from the tens column, which is 10 times bigger than the units column, it is now worth 10. This gets added to the 2, making it 12. We now have 12 take away 4, which equals 8. Move to the tens column, which is now 8 minus 6. This we can do, and equals 2. In the hundreds column, we have 3 take away 5. Again, we cannot do this as 3 is smaller than 5. We need to steal 1 from the 8 in the thousands column, making this 7. The 1 we have stolen moves back to the 3 in the hundreds column, making it 13. We now have 13 take away 5, which equals 8. Finally, we go to the thousands column, which is 7 minus nothing, because there is nothing in the row below. And we know that 7 minus nothing is 7. The answer is 7,828. Now try some sums for yourself. If it helps, draw yourself a grid with the headings U for units, T for tens, H for hundreds, and TH for thousands. You can do this on paper, or a whiteboard is useful as you can rub out your sums carefully and keep the headings. The first sum is 738, take away 65. Pause the video now and have a go. Did you get the right answer? It's 673. The second sum is 3,285 minus 759. Pause the video and try it for yourself. Check your answer. Did you get 2,526? Now we will do some sums which include decimal numbers. Again, it is important to line up numbers correctly and remember that the bigger number must always go above the smaller number. The first sum is 478.3 minus 94.8. Write the bigger number in first. This is 478.3. The 4 is 100, the 7 is a 10, and the 8 is a unit, but this number has a decimal point followed by a 3, which goes in the tenths column. The smaller number is 94.8, which goes below. The 9 is a 10, the 4 is a unit, and this number also has a number after the decimal point, which is an 8 and goes in the tenths column. We can now start subtracting in the furthest column on the right, which for this sum is the tenths column. We start with 3 minus 8, which we cannot do, so we need to steal 1 from the 8 in the units column, making it 7, and the 1 moves back to the 3 in the tenths column, making it 13. Now we have 13 minus 8, which equals 5. Move to the units column. Here we have 7 minus 4. This equals 3. In the tens column, we have 7 minus 9. We cannot do this, so we have to steal again. Take 1 from the 4 in the hundreds column, making it 3. Move the 1 back to the tens column, making 7 into 17. 17 minus 9 equals 8. Finally, we now have 3 in the hundreds column. Take away nothing below, which makes 3. Our answer is 383.5. Let's try another sum. This is 607.4 minus 286.53. Notice that one number has 1 decimal place and the other has 2. The bigger number needs to go above. This is 607.4. The 6 is 100, 0 is a 10, 7 is a unit, and 4 is a tenth. The smaller number is 286.53. The 2 is 100, 8 is a 10, 6 is a unit, 5 is a tenth, and this number also has a 3 which goes in the hundredths column. We start taking away in the furthest column on the right. For this sum we start in the hundredths column, but notice that only the bottom number has a figure in this column, so we need to place a figure above to allow us to begin our takeaway. The only figure we can place here without changing the value of the top number is 0. We now have 0 take away 3, which we cannot do, so we must steal 1 from the 4 in the tenths column, making it 3, and making our 0 into 10. Now we have 10 take away 3, which equals 7. Move to the tenths column. We have 3 take away 5. We again cannot do this, and need to steal 1 from the 7 in the units column, making it 6, and our 3 becomes 13. 13 take away 5 equals 8. In the units column we have 6 minus 6 equals 0. Move to the tens column. 0 take away 8. This cannot be done, and we need to steal 1 from the 6 in the hundreds column, making it 5, and making the 0 into 10. 10 take away 8 equals 2. Finally, we have 5 minus 2 equals 3. The answer is 320.87. Now try some sums by yourself. Draw yourself a grid like before on paper or whiteboard with the same headings: units, tens, hundreds, and thousands. But this time include extra columns to the right of the units. First put a decimal point, and in the next columns put the headings tenths or lowercase t, and then hundredths or lowercase h. The first sum is 567.4 take away 95.8. Pause the video now and try to work it out for yourself. The answer is 471.6. Did you get the correct answer? The next question is 8,439.8 take away 274.53. Remember, after lining up, to add a 0 into the hundredths column. Pause now and have a go. The answer is 8,165.27. Did you remember to start in the hundredths column with 10 take away 3? Always think carefully about the value of numbers before you line them up in sums. It really helps to say numbers either out loud or read it to yourself. When we say the number 537.84, we can hear that the 5 is 100, and this helps to know where to start when lining up. Have a go. Thanks for watching this video by Joined Up Math. More videos coming soon at Joined Up Maths on YouTube and Facebook.